Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also a proud Phoenix Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed rapper, songwriter, label exec, businessman. Well, he's a renaissance man, frankly. And his name, the one and only, Reaching Nova. For more on Reaching Nova, you can read more about him right below this video. But in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of the one and only Reaching Nova.
Yeah. You think sometimes you just ponder to yourself and think about how things used to be, things you used to do, people you used to know, how you used to be, So, hey. Used to believe in your promises. Used to believe the memories mattered honestly. Used to think we'd always live on drama-free. Before I act, gotta ask what'll karma think. Used to believe the bond we had was unbreakable. Used to think without you I wasn't capable. Used to think that I'ma always be chasing you. Thought you had it locked and there would be no replacing you. Damn, I'm used to keeping it raw. Word to Pastor Bruce, I still believe in the Lord. Used to play defense like I'm a leash to a dog. I mean, you can go and judge, but you ain't seen what I saw. Nah, used to believe in your words, but most of what I seen would never read what I heard. Came a long way, I used to dream in the dirt. See me now, but I started as a boy from the curve. Used to feel entitled, used to want more than I deserved. Used to think I knew myself until I studied my worth. Used to think life was all about defending a turf. Used to think life was all about undressing a skirt.
Well, hello, Reaching Nova. How are you?
I'm doing well, Will. How's it going?
I'm doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you, my friend, and I'm so excited that the audience has got a little sneak peek of your incredible talent. In Reaching Nova, in my research of you and listening to all of your songs, I feel like if you don't have it yet, you should have on your desk something that just says #bossman, because you are not only an incredible rapper, songwriter, you're a label exec, but you truly are a businessman and a brand. And I want to know, where did that business savvy come from for you?
Well, first, thank you. So it's a mixture. The hustle aspect of my persona and who I am, I get that from my father. He went from like working in a dry cleaners to owning 3 of them. So I saw him go from like ground zero into building his empire. I also saw him lose it all too. But Jay-Z, heavy Jay-Z advocate, and just kind of watching him since like a child, growing up into an adolescent, into my adult mind, and studying him and watching how he's played his cards, and how he's always kept it professional as an artist. You never really saw him on the camera come out of character or just do something that was cringeworthy 10 years later. And yeah, the one lesson I could extract from Jay, which there are many, but pertaining to business, was doesn't matter what you do, rapper, whatever, handle your brand in a professional manner. I read, I like to educate myself. So I'm a self-educator. I'm also a part of the Anthony Robbins Master University. So I get a lot of business ethics from there. So it's like an accumulation of different elements that, I've been blessed with that ability.
I love it. Well, I can see the books above you. I love it.
Yes.
I'm sure you've read them cover to cover a few times, but Reaching Nova, you could be writing your own book, because in my research of you, you're an incredible storyteller through song. That there are stories within you that I am sure are going to be let out one day in some New York Times bestseller. But you have such a poetry to your writing. And also, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, and maybe you can help me out. It's not just rap when I'm listening to it. I'm feeling also multiple genres within it, but also being filtrated through you. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm gonna say yes, I do know what you mean, because I'm influenced by a lot of different music. I was like one of the Z100 / Hot 97 babies. I wasn't just kind of like stuck on the Hot 97 thing. So
me and you both, baby.
Yeah, so I think so you can agree that we probably have a lot of versatility when it comes to the music. So that's probably what you're hearing. And my origins of being a writer, I have to credit that to my mom and my uncle. My mom, do you remember like Hooked on Phonics works for me?
Yes.
Yeah, so my mom had me like when I was a kid, she was had me on that every day. I'm doing that. I completed that. So I
Oh,
started
wow.
reading at a young age, and then my uncle
Wow.
introduced me to a world of poetry. So I think that's where like the
Oh my
poetic,
God. I didn't even know that. And I'm literally listening because look at, as a creator, director myself, like, I'm like, this man's a poet.
thank you. Yeah, I when you hear the new album that's coming out, there's more of the poetry incorporated, I think. I took a lot more time with my words, and I wanted to make sure like I gave myself the best shot at putting out like a masterpiece. So I'm
Reaching Nova, I
excited
want to lean
for
into
that.
that. Let's lean into it. I mean, look at, I want you to talk about a little bit, if you can give us a little sneak peek behind what's coming out, the album, why you think that it's a better representation or maybe the most cohesive representation of your lyricism. And
Mhm.
yeah, talk to me about it, this new album coming out. When can we expect it? What's it about?
I don't have a due date for it yet. I decided to kind of take a or unorthodox approach with this one. For the first two albums, I had the due date set, and then it'd be like, all right, well, I would have to meet a deadline. And I feel like with the deadline, it's cool, if you have issues meeting a deadline, it's very important that you do work on it. I do believe that. But I'm not signed to a major distribution. I'm not signed to a major label, so I don't have like this invisible clock over me. With that being said, I think that there's an advantage to that where I can again give myself the best shot at making the greatest level of music I think I've made yet, and just challenging myself on the content. Yeah, I think a lot of artists feel like content secondary, and I think content's always going to be king. What you're saying will in time will let you know if what you've been doing is timeless or what you've been doing is trendy, and it's just good for the time and you made an impact. And we know it now, but 2 weeks later we forget it, like a lot of the stuff that we're getting. So I wanted to go left, and like for me content was very important. So it's kind of cool that Kanye came out during this time because he's very content based. I feel not necessarily like content with words, but the quality of the music content that he's pushing out. I thought that that was pretty cool. And J. Cole just dropped recently, Kendrick's coming out, Drake dropped. Um, so hearing these guys and then hearing where I'm going, I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm really happy I didn't put this out a year or two ago, and I'm sticking with it.
Well, Reaching Nova, I really love the fact that you place life or death stakes on everything that you put out there for your brand. That, if you're going to be putting something out there, it's going to be quality and excellence.
Thank you.
And, some might say that's an old school approach, but I think that's the only way approach. And also, you want to be something that you want it to be something that you're proud of, 20, 30, 40 years from now, kind of like that timeless quality. And in looking forward, Reaching Nova, I'm curious to know, obviously, this has been a tough time for all humans, but especially artists, where we're used to being in conversation with live audiences.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about in getting in front of a live audience again soon?
Performing is second most important, but the human engagement, like being at the show, feeling that energy, even if it's a random like handshake in the middle of a performance, or somebody you while you're performing, you see them saying the lyrics. You don't get that if you're doing a live performance online. You're looking at the camera, you're hoping everything's going to come out right. Most of them are pre-recorded, then they throw them on YouTube and you get to watch it from there. But it's not about just spitting out material for people to receive. I love human engagement. I personally enjoy that. So for me, that's it. Like I do this music and I'm like, I can't wait to get on the stage and like be from behind this kind of sacred space that I don't go to the studio with like 30 guys, I'm just me and my engineer. So when it's time to be around a bunch of people, that's what I'm most excited for, performing live. And what comes with that is experiencing new cultures, new cities, meeting new people, expanding your network when you're on the road. Like there's so many silver linings when it comes to just like that peer-to-peer human to human engagement. So I'm excited about all that surrounds that world. I'm really happy about it. It's been a long time coming.
Absolutely. Well, listen, before I get to my final question, I just want to remind our audience for more on Reaching Nova, you can read more about him right below this video. Reaching Nova, if you could talk to young Reaching Nova in the Bronx, where
Okay.
you grew up, what advice would you give him?
Oh, you know, that's so cool. I did a writing piece, writing a letter to that person. Basically what I would tell him is stay focused and remain confident. Don't doubt your intuition or your own ideas. You don't need somebody who is quote unquote established or just in playing a role that you desire to play. That doesn't mean that they're more experienced than you, even though a lot of the times it doesn't mean that you can't do it. You know, just I would tell him like take opinions with a grain of salt, you know, just because, you know, as a kid, you're so susceptible to new ideas, especially if you really respect the person who's delivering that information. But having my adult brain, I'm like, you know, I know that people give opinions most of the time with good intentions, but most of the time they haven't taken that advice. So you're kind of the guinea pig to these people's ideas. And I wish I would have known that a lot sooner. I probably would have seeked out a mentor. I would tell them, go get a mentor, somebody who's in this area. I say that now because I mentor artists. So I do that for the sole reason of I didn't really have that growing up. So it's kind of like it fell into place now. So I tell them, go get a mentor, go intern at a label, go do the hard work that no one wants to do, get your foot in the door, and then start interning for, like, you know, your Kanye's and your Prince's. And back then, these, you know, Prince was alive, of course, but do that kind of stuff. Do the hard work. Don't try to just figure it out on your own with no map. Like, what is it you want? I would have been more goal orientated, but then again, like all those years that I put into just writing, aimless writing, and, you know, that really built me as a writer, I feel like, because for where I write now, I write from a space of, I'm conscious of my writing. And I also know what I used to write about, and not all of it was true. And that's not timeless. And for me, it's just like, well, the content, you know, if I have kids, or if I don't, and my family has kids or people that knew me, I want to be able to put these videos out, put this music out, and those people learn more about me or learn about, you know, the wisdoms that I had in this lifetime. And it's more for them. They're like artifacts to me. That's how I treat it. And that's why I just want to do it now, because you never know. We learned that with over the last 2 years, things can just happen, shake up our worlds. We have to adapt. So I'm kind of treating it like it's now or never. And yeah, so I guess that's the advice I'd give him. I said a lot there, but
No, you didn't. You said not enough, because I wish I had more time with you, my friend. But what I also love about what you said, it makes me think about a lot of the stuff that I've been thinking about, and I know a lot of artists have been thinking about now more than ever. And as young as you are and as young as I am, it's something called legacy. What are we going
legacy.
to leave behind? And you're an amazing soul, an amazing talent, Reaching Nova, and I'm so grateful for the time that you took today to speak with me. Thank you.
I'm thankful, Will, that you had an interest to have this conversation. Thank you.